Okay, same photo, same shot, same phone. The only difference, one tap. That is what a custom Lightroom preset does. And today I'm going to show you how to build your own from scratch. I'm Claudio, your host, and welcome to my channel. Today, we make your photos and videos look incredible without making things complicated. Let's build it. I'm in Lightroom Mobile. I've got a photo opened up here, and right now it's a bit flat and maybe a little lifeless. So let's fix it by editing and building my preset. The first thing you'll notice at the bottom are all the menu options: auto, light, color, blur, effects, detail, and optics. I'll start with light, and here is where we can add the overall brightness by boosting up the exposure or bring it down. In this case, I'm going to bring it down slightly, just a tad bit. And then we have contrast. This allows you to kind of give that photo a nice look. Now highlights, I'll use this to bring up that sky. If you notice, now we see more of the sky, and if I go too high on highlights, the sky disappears. So I want to adjust that to bring that sky back into the photo. Now shadows, if I bring that down, you're going to see the darker areas get a little bit darker. If I bring it up too much, in this case, it accentuates that log in the front, and I do not want that. I want that log to be a bit darker because I want the focus on that Golden Gate Bridge there. You'll want to use whites and blacks to adjust the white and black tones. In this case, this photo, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave as is. Next up, I'll look at color. Here you have temperature, tint, vibrance, and saturation. So what I want to do is give this photo a bit of a golden hour look. So I'm going to bring that temperature up, so you notice it gets a kind of a warmer tone. If I go too far to the left, you'll see it's kind of over, just a little too cool. So I'm going to bring that warmth to the right just a bit, and I'll leave the tint the way it is, but you can adjust that just to see, kind of give a style to the photo there. Let's bring that back to where it was, to about 0. Now vibrance will boost the colors that need it without blowing up the other one. So I'm going to bring that up some right there. And then for saturation, you can add some more color saturation. I might do that. If I go too far, kind of make it black and white. I'm just going to give it a little bit more because I want some more of that warmth look to this photo. And I might go back up to adjust the warmth just a bit. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. I'm going to skip blur because I don't need it for this preset build. Next, I'll adjust effects. And here I can adjust the texture, clarity, or dehaze. Now, if you'll see what dehaze does, like, you know, this was taken at the beach. So I'm actually gonna bring up, or I should say, remove some of that dehaze. And then for clarity, maybe bring it just a tad bit, and maybe bring up the texture. Just, I want the Golden Gate Bridge there to kind of pop there, to have kind of a little bit of a sharp look. Not so much sharpening the entire photo, just kind of adding a little bit of texture also to the rocks around there, and also the water that's splashing there in the waves. For a dramatic look, I'm going to add a little bit of vignette. I'm going to go to the darker side right there, and maybe just a sprinkling of grain in the photo. Not too much. Too much looks a little too, well, although that's kind of a cool look, but I'm actually just going to add a tad little bit for this preset. And then for this photo, I'm going to actually skip the detail optioning because I can sharpen the photo. I don't need it too sharpened. I've already done some of that with the clarity and texture, and I don't need to denoise it because I actually had this photo at the right or desired f-stop or aperture, and I don't need to do any color noise adjustments here as well. And that is exactly what I'm looking for this preset. Now, this is a step that changes everything. We're going to save this exact look so I never have to do this again. So you see the 3 dots on the top right. We're going to tap on that, and then you'll see create preset. We're going to tap on that as well. You'll notice that there are already selected settings there for light, color, effects. Those are all the adjustments that I have already done. I can go in and redo them if I want to, but for now I'm going to leave that. I'm going to name this preset as Golden Gate, and that way I can come back and look at this in any future time, and I know exactly what this preset will look like, and I can use it on other photos. If I want to save it in my user presets, which I have here, I have other ones that I've done. I'll create a new one here. I'll call this Summer Shine. And then when I create new presets, I can add them here as well. Tap on the check mark, and that Golden Gate preset has been saved. And because I'm using Lightroom with the Creative Cloud, this will sync up with my desktop and web version automatically. One preset, every device. Now, the extra good part. Let's see this thing in action. I'm going to select a completely different photo, which you see right there. And I'm going to tap on the preset buttons at the bottom there. And you'll see I have my user preset. So I'm going to scroll through and find my Summer Shine folder, which should be right there. And you'll see there's my preset. I'm going to go ahead and tap that, and boom, look at that. Instant editing done just by the tap of one button. And if I want to, I can go back in here and just make some slight adjustments to that photo if I want it to look slightly different. But I got a starting point and not having to do this all over again. The beautiful wonder of presets in Lightroom. And that's it, your preset built, saved, and working from 0 to 1 tap edits in under 5 minutes. So now it's your turn to give it a try. Download Lightroom on your mobile device or onto your desktop and start creating your own presets and applying them to all your photos. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to be notified for future videos just like this one so you don't miss out. And then I will see you on the next one.